Over a week ago, I tested positive for COVID after getting it from my wife, and we both have long COVID already. I did say I would film a video talking about my symptoms like I did last time. It's just taken longer for me to even be able to do that because I tried a couple of days ago, and I started getting heart pain, so I had to stop immediately. Because that is one of the symptoms that's more concerning I've been getting this time is heart pain. The pain I'm getting there isn't 24/7, thankfully. However, it's different from my normal health issues. It's not what I'm used to. So that is raising some red flags. One of the symptoms that's really bugging me right now is ear ringing that I've been getting on and off the last couple of days now. And I don't know if it will go away because my father had ear ringing when he got COVID in 2020. It never went away. He still has it to this day. And he lost some of his hearing with that, ended up getting hearing aids. It got worse when he was reinfected with COVID in 2023. So I do have concerns. But I am currently hearing multiple different notes in my ears ringing at the same time. And it is so overwhelming. I already am more sensitive, it seems like, than a lot of other autistic people with sounds. But this is awful. This is terrible. And every single time the ringing starts in my ears, I have to hold back as much as I can from having a meltdown because I don't want to cause PEM. Because if I cause PEM, then I'm going to feel worse on top of how I'm already feeling. Also, I should mention that when I came down with COVID, I couldn't tell what exactly my first symptoms were because of the fact that I am already chronically ill, and I was out of the house longer than I normally am, and the air quality was not great. And normally, if the air quality is even moderate, I stay in my house and I don't leave. But I was out of the house this time with a mask on, but still not what I normally do. So it made it difficult to tell if I was even sick in the first place. Because of that, I was like, is this my MCAS? Is it PEM? Is it both? Or am I sick? It took me getting a worse fever for it to finally click of like, oh shoot, I'm sick, I need a test now. Because I have symptoms literally every single day of my life that could be COVID. And that's what makes it really tricky. The fever, once it hit, it smacked me pretty quickly. And my wife said that she could see me declining very fast at a concerning rate. The aches I was experiencing were very similar to when I had COVID in 2023. They weren't as intense, but they lasted longer. And when I say not as intense, I mean I was still unable to get up to use the restroom even in my wheelchair because I was so unwell. Even if my wife were to push me, I couldn't do it. I was so extremely dizzy that even just trying to sit up in bed would make me extremely motion sick, and I've never experienced that level of dizziness for that long, because that level of dizziness lasted like a day and a half. It was so strange. One of the things that threw me off is that my sore throat has been very on and off. And originally it was only on my right tonsil and not the left. So that's why at first I thought it was just my normal health issues, because I get that like almost every single day, or at least multiple times a week. But then I was starting to get a little like tickle and like a little cough every once in a while. But again, I'll get that kind of a lot, not as frequently, but I get that a lot. So I'm like, okay, maybe just my usual issues, but like, what if I'm sick? I did experience issues with taste, which lasted maybe a day or two, where it was really bad, where absolutely everything aside from children's Tylenol and Ricola tasted just straight up bitter. Even water was just gross. There's probably other symptoms I'm forgetting that I'm experiencing right now. And it's also a little tricky to tell what's what because, again, I'm already chronically ill and I am currently now also on my period. It's rough. I also did want to briefly mention that with my wife, again, one of the reasons why it was so hard to tell that she was sick is because it started off with her having an asthma attack to something that I had anaphylaxis to, and it's something that I've been reacting to at least somewhat since I was in middle school. So it's not even new for me to have that level of a reaction to this thing, and her having an asthma attack to it isn't new either. The only thing is the asthma attack never went away. Usually, if her asthma attack is really bad, it can last even a couple of days. So, it's really hard to know that she's sick unless she's testing positive. And the tricky thing is with COVID is a lot of times with rapid tests, people are showing symptoms but not testing positive on rapid yet. There was one infection my wife had where literally the entire time it felt like asthma, and the only reason she knew that she was sick is because I got smacked significantly harder with symptoms than she did during the short term. However, long term, she developed other symptoms that were worse than the acute infection she had. And a lot of people don't realize that is that it is possible to have a more mild acute infection but then end up with worse long-term issues. Also, if you haven't seen my previous posts, I did want to mention we do think my wife got COVID in the first place from doing in-person medical appointments where she is unable to wear a mask for that, which really sucks. And she started doing that super recently, like I think she started in August. And that's the only thing that has changed for us. Um yeah, the person who works on my wife does have a KN95, but I don't know how well fitted it is. I don't know if she's wearing one before working on my wife on other patients because my wife requested her to, so I don't know if she wears one normally. I also have no idea if people coming in before my wife could be contagious and that be in the air. It's really tricky. I mention this because I did manage earlier this year to go on an entire month-long trip to Japan, including Tokyo Disney and Sanrio Puroland, and we at least didn't knowingly get sick the entire time, and Japan was having record levels of influenza. So, yeah. And also, since switching over to the masks we wear now, my wife even managed to be like one of the only people in her entire work that didn't get COVID last year, when a whole bunch of other people were getting it and coming into work with it, and there were two people who even had to be taken to the hospital from work because they were that unwell with it.